Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk about creating custom levels in Sight Reading Factory so that you can better to customize your assessments for your students. Okay, so here is the Sight Reading Factory main window. This is what you see as soon as you log in. Over here at the top, you have your tabs. Go ahead and scroll on over to the Levels tab and click that. Here you will have your Custom Level tab. This table contains your saved custom difficulty levels. They allow you, custom difficulty levels allow you to create highly customized levels and share them with your students. Okay, and once you have associated a custom level with a class, students will be able to select your level in their practice sessions. Additionally, you can give your students assignments based on your custom levels. Here are a couple ones that I've created, some that I've experimented with, and I will show you how to create your own. So go ahead and click on the New button right here, and it will ask you, this will be the Create Level page. You will name it, okay? I'm just going to call this Test Level 1. You can also select which classes you want this to be available to so that students, when they use the practice sight reading function, they can, when they're practicing on their own, they can select this level, okay? Um, so you could even create practice levels for them. Like, hey, I want you to go and practice this week on practice level 2, etc. So for right now, I'm not going to assign this to any classes, but you can select that for them. Okay. So rhythm attributes, you can select all the rhythms you want. Okay. So let's say this particular week, you're only working on quarter note, eighth note relationships. Okay. You would select a quarter note and an eighth note. Okay. You can also select the rests if you want them. I like to throw in a quarter rest. So quarter note, eighth notes, and then the rest, and then the quarter rest. You can select the rhythmic difficulty. When you have such few rhythm values, the difficulty doesn't, even if you put it on hard, doesn't really change that much. You might have a bunch of successive eighth notes or some weird rests thrown in there, but either way, I just leave it on easy. Okay, and then of course you can select if you want there to be ties, staccatos, slurs, or accents, or syncopated rhythms. You can do that as well if you want. Um, you can set the pitch attributes to rhythm only or tone sets. Okay, I'm not going to do that because I have my particular pitch ranges and what I want my kids to work on. So right now in my varsity class, I'm working on a lot of just stepwise sight reading and stepwise motion. So you can sight read up and down the scale. And then of course, later on, I'm going to add a level that involves thirds, a level that involves fourths, and a level that involves skips of a fifth. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to add pitch ranges. This is how you're going to create the custom fields for your kids. Okay. So we're going to click Add Pitch Range, and we're creating this for the 4 voice parts in a choir: soprano, alto, tenor, and bass. So I'm going to select treble clef. Okay, I'm going to go over to choir, and I'm going to select the alto and the soprano. Okay, you can, and I'm also going to select, sorry, the tenor, treble, 8 clef as well. Okay. And then it's going to ask me to select a pitch range. All right. So here it defaults G up to G. Now, if you want to get very, very particular with this, you can create a pitch range for every voice section. Okay. For my non-varsity kids, since they are learning from home and this is a new year, I'm pretty much keeping everything within a C octave because that's easily attainable for the students, okay? Later on, I will create custom ranges for just the alto, for just the soprano, just the tenor, and just the bass that will have a more modified range to fit what they're actually going to have in sight reading. But for the sake of just early on assessments, I'm going to go ahead and leave it at a C to C octave so that it's attainable. Then you need to select, once you do that and select your pitch range, you can select Add Range Configuration. before I do that, you also have the flats and sharps over here. So let's say if you wanted to say like C sharp or C flat or whatever, you could select that if you want that particular pitch range. All right, so add range configuration. So I've got the instruments, alto, soprano, tenor, treble 8 clef. Now I need to add one for my basses. So I'm going to go add pitch range. I'm going to go over here to the bass clef. I'm going to select bass. Hit next. And for the basses as well, I'm going to put them within a C to C octave. Okay, in the bass clef. And then add range configuration. So now I have 4 instruments available: alto, soprano, tenor with a treble 8 clef, and the bass. So that when a student logs in to do this assignment, they will have the 4 instruments to pick from, and then they just select their voice part. And later on, when you want to get more complex with the particular ranges, you want to make the alto a little bit lower, you want to make the soprano a little bit higher to have them sight read up into a range that's more fit for their tessitura, then you can do that. All right. So then we scroll down to the other pitch attributes. Do you want there to be accidentals? Do you want there to be dynamics actually written in so that you can maybe test them on there, how they can sight read dynamics? You can also select that if you want it to start on the root or if you want it to start on do. For my early on assessments, I have always clicked must start on root because for some of my younger kids, as I'm trying to teach them how to find do, but I want to assess them early, I tell them, this exercise will start on do. So that they at least know that it's going to start on do and they can figure it out from there. And then, of course, you can select a maximum leap, a maximum allowable leap size, and you have these: no greater than a second, no greater than a third, no greater than a fourth. So let's say if I select no greater than a fourth, that means I could have fourths, thirds, and seconds in the exercise. For early on assessment purposes, again, I'm focusing a lot on stepwise motion right now with my younger kids, so I'm going to put no greater than a second. All right, if you have some more advanced kids, you can pump it up to about a third or a fourth, depending on where you are in your year. Again, that's all on you, and you can do that. All right, and then you would click Save Level. But let's go and check out Custom Leaps. All right, so here, let's say you want to work on a particular, sorry about that, it's my bell. Let's say that you want to work on a particular interval, okay? You've been practicing. For some reason, your kids just have trouble singing like do up to fa. You can select from scale degree 1 to scale degree 4 ascending, okay? Or if you got, and then you can select that one, and like you're going to get that custom leap in there, okay? Let's say you need do down to fa for those basses. You can select that descending leap and you could save that, okay? So you can create custom leaps in there as well, all right? And so actually I'm going to save that level just so that we can go and check it out right now. Oh, I'm sorry. Level 1, test level 1 has no class associated with it. You will not be able to use this level for an assignment, and it will not be visible for your students until you associate it with at least one class, okay? So just so you know that. So you can create these levels before you actually send them out to the kids. That's another cool thing. So like you can create the levels in advance, and then you could just start opening them up to the students as you go by adding them to their class. But we're going to go ahead and click over here and hit try it. It's going to bring up the exercise. So I'm a bass, well, at least in the morning. I'm going to pick my 4/4 time signature. And I'm just going to pick C major. Start free playing. And there you have it. All right. You have stepwise motion, and then you have the leaps of that fourth that are in there. So I have do, or over here, we can actually click our little tuning fork. Do, mi, sol, mi, do, fa, mi, re, mi, fa, sol, la, sol. Okay. And so you got that fourth ascending leap in there, and then you get it again towards the end. Sol, la, ti, do, fa, sol. Okay, right there, measure 6. Okay, so if you want to like really practice some of those custom leaps, you can put that in there. Also, kids can go back and they can actually listen to this if they're practicing it. If they want to work on it at home, okay, they can press play and it will play a little metronome count off, and it will actually play the piano playing those intervals so they can practice along at home. So let's say this week, hey guys, we're going to practice our tonic triad sight reading. We're going to do do, mi, and sol. Okay, that's all we're going to work on this week. And at the end of the week, I'm going to put up an assignment. Okay, so you make them practice throughout the week, and you can go and look at their practice time. And then you can have them do an assignment at the end of the week involving those particular triads. But that's how you set custom levels. I'm going to do a couple other videos on how to do other things in Sight Reading Factory. Hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, it's a great tool to use. I really, really recommend using it a lot. Use it every day. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you when I see you.